What is happening in the front offices of the Los Angeles Angels today, the day after Seattle fans are chanting for Ohtani? Chants are great, but Ohtani saying through his interpreter, losing sucks. The Angels know that. They're one game under 500 now, and Mike Trout is out for the foreseeable future. What is happening in that front office, do you think, today, David Samson?
They're approaching Artie Moreno, as they do every year, with a possible plan, and Artie Moreno tends to veto such plan. He doesn't want to be the owner who traded the best player who ever played baseball. He doesn't want to get it wrong, and he wants to believe that he can re-sign Ohtani. I think it's practically malpractice not to trade him, but I predicted on Nothing Personal that he won't get traded. The Angels are very unlikely to make the playoffs. They could go on a run maybe, but it's unlikely in the American League. He is a wild card. And so why not try to get something for Ohtani and do a Chapman? When the Yankees traded him to the Cubs, he won the World Series with the Cubs, and then they re-signed him as a free agent. I believe that the Angels could still do that with Ohtani, but I don't believe Moreno has the guts to trade him.
Well, what would it net him back? You know, A-Rod said on the pregame show last night, hey, if I'm Seattle, I trade for Ohtani right now. And my thought would be, if I'm the Angels, to trade him in division, I'd have to ask for either Luis Castillo, or I'd even say, screw it, I'll ask for J-Rod. You know what I mean? Like, this is Ohtani.
You're not going to get that.
No, I get it, but so then they're not getting Ohtani. Then I'll let him walk, I guess, or I will trade him somewhere else. You know, and the question is if he is a rental, what does the rental of the world's rarest, most expensive, most wanted car look like to you?
So a couple of things I just want to address is that now that the schedule is balanced, it's not as big a thing to trade in your division. That used to be a very big thing with owners. They never wanted to trade, like the Yankees wouldn't trade with the Mets, even though that's not division. Or Jeffrey Loria, our owner, would say, we're not trading with the Braves or the Mets. That really isn't as big a thing as it used to be.
Okay.
But the rental concept, Rich, that's the big deal, is how do you value a player when you may only have him for a few months? And the first thing that you ask during the negotiation is you ask for a window to negotiate. And I don't think Ohtani will sign a deal with anybody who trades for him, but you ask for that window, and even that permission is worth an extra player when you're negotiating a trade.
Huh. Okay. So give me an idea of what a trade for Ohtani, the rental, would look like, David.
2 prospects in a team's top 30 and 2 major league ready players off your team. That's it. It's a trade where you can say, if you're the Angels, that we have players for our future, we have players for now, and our full intent is to re-sign Ohtani. And for the team that acquires him, they get to say to their fan base, hey, we're going for it. We're all in. Look what we traded. We traded 4 players for a guy who may play 70 games for us. And once you're in the playoffs, it's a crapshoot whether you're going to win the World Series. You know that. It takes a lot of luck to actually get the ring. And so you're risking trading away a lot of your system for a very short-term rental. So the real value for Ohtani would have been last year, the way the Nationals traded Soto and got all those players, because the Padres had so many years with him. The people who get Ohtani, you got a few months. It's not enough.
So, a couple questions following up there. The 2 major league ready players, are one of them all-star caliber? I mean, because again, I understand you're just getting Ohtani for 2 months, but it's Ohtani you're getting for 2 months. You're not just you're getting an ace pitcher, and you're getting a thumper, and you're getting a guy who can go from first to third and could go from second to home. You don't have to pinch run. I mean, he is the true unicorn that you're getting.
He certainly is.
And fannies in the seats, asses in the seats. I mean, so you'd have to get at least an all-star caliber player back, no? For him?
So not for a rental. So the way we would do it is on the board, it's actually 2 trades. We would look at trading Ohtani the pitcher and Ohtani the hitter, and what would each of those in a deadline deal, a rental deadline deal, what would that get? And you could say it would get you 1 good prospect, 1 medium prospect, and 1 other body. So there is a world where it's 6-1, 6 players for 1, with 2 top prospects, 2 middle prospects, and then 2 others, sometimes even window dressing. but that sort of number is what makes sense to me. But again, Soto was worth more than Ohtani is now. Even though Ohtani is a way better player and he's two players, the extra time in uniform actually trumps the difference in talent.
David Samson, Nothing Personal podcast, host as well as former Marlins president here on the Rich Eisen Show. So then you also said when you threw that potential deal for Ohtani out there, from the Angels' perspective, saying our intent is to still re-sign him. Do you think the Angels would have a better shot at keeping Ohtani if they looked him in the face and said, look, Trout broke his hand. We get it. We want you to be with a winner. We want you to taste winning, but we're coming for you. We still want you. Do you think that's possible? That it would be better for them to trade him out of love rather than hold on to him and hope? What do you think about that, David? Is that what you're implying?
I love that. I actually talked about it on Nothing Personal, that exact scenario where Artie or somebody, it could be Perry, but goes to Shohei and says, listen, where do you want to go? We want to give you this gift. We'll figure out a trade to the team you want to go to. The player empowerment, the likes of which you only see in the NBA. We'll do it for you right here, but I want to know that we're in the game. If you're telling me that there is no chance that you will come back, then I'm less inclined to do what you want here. But if you're willing and want to, and if you want to stay with us, great. We'll skip getting the 6 assets. You tell me, Shohei, what you want. I would do that to the player, even though it goes against my views of player empowerment.
Well, and obviously it would be easier to do that if you trusted the player and his representative, or you truly understood his intent and his inner workings and the way he ticks. We had Pedro Martinez on yesterday, David, and he said, Ohtani's so nice, he will never ask out. He will never say, this isn't working for me. Losing sucks. I want out of here. So what do you know about Ohtani's intention? Who is his agent? What are they doing behind the scenes at all?
So I don't know Ohtani. I know Ichiro very well. And so I can tell you that the level of respect that Ichiro has for the game is very likely shared by Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
The way that Ichiro respects management, respects his teammates, understands the process, never wants to ruffle feathers of any kind. I can imagine Shohei being that way. But if you are Shohei's agent, you have begun the process. So tampering goes on all the time. We would speak to agents about players on other teams all the time.
Yeah.
And it was normal. Everybody was. And so you've got to understand what the market is, and you've got to give your player, meaning Shohei, all of the opportunities that he wants, which is to go to a team that's going to win, go to a team that can still have a high payroll even while paying him 50 or 60 or 70 a year, and being in a city where he's comfortable. And the agent is in position to know that better than anybody.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.